Hello Cloud Gurus, and welcome to this section on Web Identity Federation with mobile applications. It's going to be a really quick section. Effectively for the exam, you just need to know that you can authenticate your applications using things like Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, and Amazon's own your own Amazon account, so your Amazon.com account, for example. To set it up, you need to do a fair bit of coding. It depends on, again, what environment you're coding it in. This article, Web Identity Federation with Mobile Applications, if you Google that, it describes it all to you in detail. It is outside the scope of the exam. Basically, you just need to know whether it's possible or not. And then the only other thing I wanted to show you is the actual playground. So if you go into Identity Access Management, and if you go down to Additional Information, you'll see the Web Identity Federation playground. And let's just go ahead and log in with Facebook. So I'm going to go in here and log in with Facebook. And it's prompted me for my Facebook username and password. So I'm just going to pause it here and I'm going to enter it in. I don't want the whole world to know my Facebook username or what I use to log into Facebook. But once I've logged in, I'll restart the video. Okay, so I've successfully signed in using Facebook, and you'll see that I've been given an access token, which is in this green text, and that access token is going to expire within 5,016 seconds. You actually see a little counter up here, a countdown to how long it's going to take for that token to expire. Now, what's important about this, and this comes up in the exam, is the actual methodology of how you're authenticating. So what we've done is we've gone to Facebook, we've verified our identity with Facebook, and we've been given an access token. Using this access token, we then go into AWS, so we proceed to step 2, and we're going to obtain temporary security credentials. So in here you can see obtain temporary security credentials, and using that ID token we can obtain our temporary security credentials by making an assume with role web identity request. And so this is basically the policy statement that's created. So you can see here SID, the effect is allow principal, and this is basically a JSON policy that's being created. You can go through and read it if you want, but what's important is the provider ID is graph.facebook.com, the role ARN, and ARN stands for Amazon Resource Name, and so this is the resource name here, and do remember that because ARN can come up in the exam. And then this is the session, and this is my web identity token. So this is the actual token that I'll use to authenticate against AWS. So I proceed to step 3. First thing I've got to do is call the assume role with web identity. And there we go. So there's my request that's gone through, and this is the response. And now that I've got my my token, I'm able to go through and to log in. And I'm able to see here I've got my different actions that I can perform. So I can list a bucket or get an object. And if I list bucket, there's the request to list the bucket, and there's the response, which is basically showing me the name of the bucket, which is called a Web Identity Federation Playground bucket, and it's showing me you know, what's inside here. So you can see user fun, user underscore doc .txt. So I can actually see the contents of that bucket using the token that I got and my temporary security credentials from Facebook. So really the key points to take away, you don't need to know how to do this programmatically for the exam. If you do want to learn how to do it from your language of choice, just visit this blog, and there's loads of tutorials and articles on it. But from a high level, what's really important to understand for the exam is just the process that you go through, and the key thing is to remember is that you authenticate first with your identity provider, you then get your temporary security credentials, and then basically once you've gone and got your temporary security credentials, you call this assume role with web identity, and then once you've done that, you are able to access your AWS resource. So just remember that, and I will put that in the practice quizzes and in the final exam at the end. If you have any questions, please let me know, but if not, feel free to move on to the next lecture. Thank you.